Have you ever noticed how the people who hurt you the most are the ones you feel the strongest pull toward? And no matter how hard you try, you keep finding yourself chasing love that leaves you anxious, confused, and starving for the smallest sign of care. Here's the part most people never tell you. You're not broken. You're not addicted to pain. You're not choosing chaos on purpose. Your brain learned a pattern, and those patterns were written long before you ever dated anyone. Because when you grow up around love that's unpredictable, love that feels like a reward you have to earn, love that disappears when you need it most, your nervous system builds a map that says, this is what love feels like. This is familiar. This must be home. So when someone walks into your life and their attention feels inconsistent, when they're warm one moment and distant the next, when you're trying to prove you're worth staying for, that's the moment your brain wakes up and says, I know this feeling, follow it. Not because it's healthy, but because it's familiar. And familiarity can feel safer than real safety when you've never experienced steady love before. This pull you feel, it isn't attraction, it's recognition. Your wounds recognize what shaped them. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Healthy love, the kind that's consistent, predictable, and emotionally safe, doesn't activate the same chemicals in your brain. It feels soft, steady, almost quiet. And if you grew up in emotional chaos, quiet doesn't feel comforting. It feels suspicious. You start thinking things like, why aren't they obsessed with me? Why does this feel too easy? Why don't I feel that spark? Why am I bored? But that spark you're looking for, it's not love. It's anxiety dressed as passion. It's your nervous system being triggered. It's your body going into survival mode. It's the familiar roller coaster of anticipation, reward, withdrawal. The cycle that kept you hooked as a child keeps you hooked as an adult. The love that hurts feels intense because it's unstable. The love that's healthy feels unfamiliar because it's safe. You're not rejecting good people. You're rejecting unfamiliar safety. And you're not drawn to the ones who hurt you because they're special. You're drawn to the ones who match the emotional blueprint you grew up with. You're chasing a story you didn't write, a story that was written for you. And the ending is always the same. You give more, they give less, you blame yourself, and your nervous system calls it love. So how do you break a pattern that your body has mistaken for belonging? You don't start by forcing yourself to love better people, and you don't start by blaming yourself for wanting intensity. You start by understanding this truth. Your nervous system isn't choosing for your future, it's reacting from your past. Healing begins when you learn to sit with discomfort without running toward the person who causes it. It begins when you stop chasing and start observing. Why does this person's distance make me want them more? Why does uncertainty feel like connection? Why does consistency make me pull away? You break the pattern by slowing down enough to recognize it, and then you do the bravest thing. You let healthy love feel strange. You let kindness feel unfamiliar. You let calm feel safe. You let stability feel worthy of staying. And while you're learning this new language of love, you start rewriting the old story. You start telling yourself, I don't have to earn love anymore. I don't have to chase people to be chosen. I don't have to confuse intensity with intimacy. I don't have to repeat a childhood I survived. The moment you realize that the love that hurt you was never evidence of your worth, only evidence of your past, is the moment everything changes. Because love that's consistent won't feel like a high. It won't feel like a chase. It won't feel like a test you have to pass. Real love feels like relief. And if you've never felt that before, that doesn't mean you're undeserving. It just means you're learning a new way to be loved. And learning new love requires unlearning the old wounds that once felt like home. Narration. You don't chase love that hurts because you want pain. You chase it because your heart has never felt safe enough to stay anywhere else. But now, you're learning safety. You're learning softness. You're learning that love doesn't have to hurt to be real. And that's the beginning of becoming someone who finally chooses peace over patterns.